All right, today is let's see here, August 15th of 2024, and we're gonna go over previous day's price action as well as the outlook for today. So yesterday I had a bullish bias. We had bullish order flow, which uh, which we saw based off of what happened the previous day. The previous day price closed above this gap here, which turned into an inverse after price closed above it. Here on NQ, on ES, not so much. Price did not close above this, but it did yesterday. So uh, I just lost my train of thought. Um, okay, so again, bullish order flow, bullish order flow. We looked at the 4 hour. We noticed that price yesterday drew consecutive gaps, consecutive bullish gaps here, and so again, price price had bullish order flow. Um, yeah, price had bullish order flow where price was disrespecting. You don't see it here on the 4 hour. You saw it on the daily, but you don't see it here on the 4 hour yet as of here. But price was closing above all of these gaps right here, all of these bearish gaps here. Well, there's really not many bearish 4 hour gaps. There's one here, price closed above it here. One here, price closed above here. On the 60-minute though, it's more defined. Price kept closing above all of these liquidity pools up here on the 1 hour. Liquidity pool here, price closed above here, liquidity pool here, price closed above here. Why are these liquidity pools? Well, because they have up close candles, candle highs, and right above them you have gaps, which are imbalances below order blocks. Price closed above all of those, and so coming into yesterday, we noticed that price had swept this low. Price swept this low, but the difference between this one and this one is price did not sweep this liquidity pool here, which made it SMT. Same thing here between this low and this low. So that's SMT between ES and NQ. Again, bullish order flow, but right off the open, we noticed that price had already swept session highs, session lows with this move here off the 8:30 high impact news, which was, I believe, PPI, I believe. Oh man, what did I just do? All right, whatever. There you go. I'm just gonna leave that there. It has to be perfect to me, otherwise I start to get all weirded out about it. Let's move this one a little to the left. Okay. All right. So yeah, we noticed that price had already swept these highs here. So up until this point, up until the 0930 open, there was no structure for me. I knew that price was bullish and order flow was bullish, but there was no indication of where price may lead to after these areas here. We had yet to sweep this right after that high impact news. We had yet to trade into equilibrium here on the daily dealing range. So I kept that in mind. So right off the open, price had consolidated. On NQ, price ran the highs. ES price didn't, so that's SMT. Once price did that, I expected or I looked for displacement lower. Here we go. Yep, displacement lower. We got it with the initial opening candle. Displacement lower within the first 5 minutes. Displacement lower within the first 5 minutes, and so I began to look for shorts. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, I began to look for shorts as soon as this 5 minute candle closed. Here we had a gap as well as balanced price range after consolidation. Once you get that and price breaks out with consecutive gaps, those that can be an indication of what is it called? Uh, Something entry drill. It doesn't come to me, but I know exactly what I'm looking for. And I noticed it here where price drew into here. Did not trade into consequent encroachment. And then that's where price acted as resistance. Price drew lower. On this area, price did not. So that could have also been second stage SMT, with this being first stage, uh, second stage here. And so right after that, price is placed. I did trade one contract here, covered into 2 points, then waited for price to draw lower again after price respected this order block here. Once I realized that price was failing to close above this gap here, I got in right here and covered into the the low of the market maker sell model off the 1 minute. Same thing here on on NQ. Price did do the same, and you could have entered here, here, or any one of the gaps right after an order block was drawn. So what did I expect afterwards? Well, afterwards I started noticing that price did not want to close aggressively below this low. First with this candle here, notice the price did not close here, closed above here, and so I took my stops on everything really. Um, well, but this time I had already covered into this the sweep of this low, um, and so I had a limit order here. I did have a micro, which I had taken to see if maybe we get a run all the way to these lows, which I wanted to hold, but obviously I got stopped close to my entry. But again, a micro, so no big deal. Made plenty with the mini here. So going into the afternoon, I did expect price to draw higher. I noticed a unicorn model here set up, but price had already traded up to this area, So this was during the 11 o'clock macro. And so going into the 13:30 macro, I had wanted price to come down here to test this unicorn model on the 5 minute, and it did. The only problem was that it happened before 13:30, and I actually did come in at 1300, but I came in like literally 1 minute. 1 minute too late, and I actually came in when price was already up here. I actually wanted to get in with a limit order here to try to see if I can get a run higher after I noticed a liquidity pull up above these highs here. Same thing here. Price did not trade into the order block, well, the breaker, the body of the breaker, but it did trade within this gap here, and the reaction was bullish, and you could have covered into this area. But again, I did not get that entry, so I waited. I waited for price to sweep this high. Price did. Waited for price to sweep this high. It did, and so I started looking for something. I started looking for price to react in a manner that told me that price was gonna draw higher because my bias was higher. On ES, price kept on sweeping the highs. On NQ, price did not keep sweeping the highs, but what I did see was price kept drawing very smooth edges, and all of these highs right here are relative equal highs. And so I waited for price to draw to start sweeping the lows. When price swept this low but did not sweep this low, that to me was SMT. And if you look at the actually the 1 hour, you will also notice that the 1 hour also has SMTs between this low and this low. So then once we got this sweep, I expected price to draw higher to sweep this high here. And at this time also, I realized that all of this consolidation here was just nothing but time distortion. Basically, time was not ready to sweep the highs until we had indication enough. And so here we started drawing higher lows. But here we had yet to do that. But at the same time, we were drawing very smooth edges. And so this to me was the buy stops. And so I knew that price would sweep those buy stops eventually. And so I waited for price. After price swept this low here, I waited for price to show me something. And so once price is placed here within this gap, I expected price to sweep one more time. And I was looking for price to fail to close below this area. And that's exactly what we got here. We had wicks. And so once price failed to close below this low, I started looking for an entry. And I was able to record it here. I did forget, well, not forget, I did hesitate to get long as soon as price closed above this area. Well, not closed, but as soon as price swept through this high, swept through change in the state of delivery here. But as soon as price swept through this high, I realized that it was market structure shift. I waited for a quick retracement, and I got in right here with 2 contracts. And I waited for price to, well, this became my my target. And as you can see here, I have SMT with this SMT here. There is a 5-minute gap here that held, that price failed to close below. Same thing here, price failed to close below. Here we did sweep through the low, but if you look at the 5-minute, you'll see nothing but a long wick. And so again, entry here, target here. And so that's why I recorded this. Maybe I should record the whole sessions. This just takes too much memory on my computer, so I'm not willing to do that. So if I ever see another opportunity repeat itself, then I'll just try to get in. I'll try to start recording once I see the sweep, or I anticipate a sweep and price draws higher. So I'll try to do that. But yeah, this is what I got off of yesterday, and this happened at around 1500 during the 1500 macro. And you see me there, IOFED. Oh my god, I know what the meaning of it is. I just can't come up with the name right now. I'm drawing a huge blank. Intermarket, something entry drill. ED, I just know stands for entry drill. I can't remember the name of it. Jesus. All right, let me look at my notes real quick. Geez, I don't. I'm drawing a huge blank. OFED meaning. Here we go. Institutional order flow entry drill. Same thing that I noticed earlier in the day. Obviously, we did not get the sweep into this area, but that too is an indication. So you could enter at a limit order right at the low here, or right maybe 1 tick above the low. Yep, 1 tick above the low. And here I am checking to see if maybe this low pierced it, because on NQ it's hard to do that. And so we got the sweep above this area, and that's when I stopped recording. So that was another good trade as well. And obviously, eventually we did once again sweep this low, and we swept this high. And I actually wanted to get long once again, but I had already had two great trades, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and so I did not want to do that again. But I should, because once price swept this low, as you can see here, price did not sweep this low. So that once again is SMT. And then we had a beautiful entry here as well. Not necessarily a gap, but after price created this inversion gap here, we could have jumped in here. We could have also jumped in here after price swept high. And obviously we had the sweep above this high. So this could have been a good entry. But obviously by this time I had already taken a win here. So I did not want to take a win here, which would have been a lot, a higher risk reward. But, that's fine. At least I was here to see this. And so I'll be using this as experience as well. Plenty of opportunities to go by. But anyways, so for today, I'm expecting for price to continue drawing higher. On ES, price finally closed above this huge gap here. So order flow remains bullish. Combine bullish and order flow. Yeah, so bullish flow remains bullish. Oh, geez, order flow remains bullish. Okay, so yeah, bullish flow, bullish order flow remains bullish. Okay, price on the daily here closed above this high here, as well as NQ price closed above this high here. And so I'm expecting a retrace. If we got it overnight, great. Then we might see a draw higher. This whole down move is sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. So I am expecting price to eventually go up here, but obviously I'm not going to be trading, expecting for price to reach these highs in one day, or maybe it might not. Who knows? Uh, let's see here. So yeah, I'm expecting price to at least maybe try to trade above this order block here, which is the breaker before price drew lower. Same thing here, at least to 50% of this range here, to see what it does afterwards. But yeah, that's my plan for today. On the 4 hour, there really isn't anything. We do have liquidity below this lowest price here. Traded into this gap here, and then obviously traded higher. Here it only barely touched this price area, so that to me is very bullish. Let's go to the 60. Right, okay, so again, price remains bullish because price closed this whole gap here, and here it traded into consequent encroachment only, or right above consequent encroachment. So I left these gaps open. So that to me is a very bullish sign. So I wouldn't be surprised if price continued drawing higher overnight. Same thing here. I wouldn't be surprised if price continues drawing higher overnight. If price did that, then what I'm going to be looking for a retracement to for price to draw higher. And on that retracement, I want to see a higher time frame liquidity pool get swept, and then for price to continue drawing higher after that. 60-minute, there is no liquidity pools here, but there is a unicorn model here. Price did close above here. Here, price did trade below this this break or block. So I want to see how price closed and traded within this area. On ES, it's more defined. I want to see how price traded here, but if it continued drawing higher, again, I will look for a retracement into a liquidity pool. On the 15-minute, I do see here the price created before the close. Price created a liquidity pool here. Same thing here. Price created a liquidity pool here. So I would expect for price to sweep this low, maybe trade into this this gap here, and then for price to draw higher here. Actually, this is not the high. Okay, so that's here. Same thing here. Price did create this liquidity pool here, so I would expect price to sweep this low, trade into this gap here, and then for price to draw higher afterwards. So that is the price action from yesterday and what I expect for today. So let's see if price did draw that, and yeah, let's see what we can come up with today. All right. Actually, let's start with the daily. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so we had a pretty bullish move. We are drawing higher here and here, here and here. Okay, so we already traded above 50% of this range, so I can get rid of this right here. Oh, come on, dude. There we go. We are above equilibrium on both. We are above equilibrium above both. Again, on the higher time frame, this is the liquidity pool I'm aiming for. We have new week opening gaps here, here. So I do expect this to act as a magnet. Uh, and I don't know, it might happen today, especially since I believe ES is the stronger of the two. Let's go into the 4-hour. Okay, so 4-hour has had a bullish move out off the 0830 news, which was core retail sales, initial job claims, and retail sales month over month. So bullish price action thus far, but nothing to be nothing to look at on the 4-hour. We do have SMT between this low here and this low here. Okay, good. Let's take a look at the 60-minute. Okay, SMT, 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 SMT. There you go. All right, let me go ahead and get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. And what is this? This was the previous dealing range, which price did trade into violate. Let me get rid of this. Actually, no, I don't need to get rid of this. I can get rid of this right here. I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this. Okay, so again, SMT between this low and this low, this low and this low, Asia range, New York session range, Asia range, New York session range. So let's keep drawing here. This is the new dealing range here. Let's only do it up to here because a lot of times I end up having to zoom in and out for no reasons. Um, pretty sure it'll be more defined on the 15-minute. This already reminds me of a couple of days ago. Okay, once again, we do have a huge run up, a huge run up. We do have a gap that's forming here, but no clear entry as of yet. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. This is a beautiful entry here on the 15-minute for a bullish unicorn. And as you can see here, we did trade into this gap here after price swept this low here, also swept this low here, and well, that would have been a really good entry here at the 715 macro. Let's see here. Yep, price swept this low. Price did trade into this gap here. Price traded higher. Here it didn't. So yeah, this was the liquidity pool that we were looking into. We can get rid of this here. Don't need this anymore. And we can use, oh man, I shouldn't have deleted that. We can use this as a projection to see where price may lead to. Okay, so I did complete 4 standard deviations on that, and I'm betting to believe that on NQ it did as well. All right, there we go. Yep. Well, it hasn't yet, but again, this reminds me of a couple of days ago, which was right here. We caught a beautiful entry. So this is the type of move I'm looking for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to anticipate that price. I'll be looking for longs today, basically, after we get retracement into 50% of the ranges. Crap, which one is it? No, that's not this one. Same thing here. Okay, 50% of the ranges. I'll go ahead and remove this since there really is no reason to keep this up anymore. I'll keep this one. If price continues to draw higher from here, then I don't expect price to come back down to retest this area because we do have two yep, we have two gaps here. So I don't expect price to trade back into this area. As you can see here, uh, we barely swept this low here into this gap. Same thing here, we barely swept into it. So I would like for this to remain open. Same thing here. I would like for this to remain open. But if price decides to test 50% of the range, then I would expect for price to come all the way down here and then draw higher. Same way this did right here. Actually, no, not here. It was actually on NQ. Yep, here it is. As you can see here, price did trade into 50% of the gap. So I'm looking for something similar. I'm looking for something similar here today as well. Um, Again, it does look too far-fetched for price to come down here, but we've seen this type of price action before. So we have two options. One, if price continues drawing higher, then I am not likely to get in. What I will do is I will wait for price to show me the same type of price action that caused me to take the long here. Retracement into a liquidity pool here on the 5-minute, retraces and holds above a gap, a bullish gap, draws higher, and then starts time distortion. Time distortion causes sweeps of lows, creating SMT, and then draws higher afterwards. So same concept, but obviously up here. And I will be targeting the new week opening gap here on ES. On NQ, there really is nothing up until you get that sweep above the high. But let's just double check to make sure there isn't. I didn't see anything on the 60 minute yesterday. As you can see here, maybe this old low here, but obviously that's within the new week opening gap on NQ. We do have, yeah, there's nothing here. So I guess if anything, did we trade above this gap already? Yep, we did. So I will be looking for this right here. And maybe even this right here. These are the only areas of resistance that I see thus far. All right, much better. This gap is kind of high, kind of wide, 61 all the way to, so about a 40-point gap. Okay, so I'll leave the quadrants there because quadrants can act as areas of resistance if price is going to continue to target those highs. So I'll just leave this here. All right, so let's see how price reacts within these quadrants. Oh man. So it is a rather large gap. So I'm going to be watching to see how price reacts within this price area here. Yep, let's do that. Okay. Again, I want to sweep back into this low here, but I don't see anything as of yet. Price just swept into the 15-minute gap, which is fine. So I'll just let price draw itself until something I see something more definitive at the open. Let's take a look at the 60-minute here. Again, rather large gap here, so let's do the same thing here. you go. Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Okay, we are seeing SMT between this high and this high. But I would expect price is really strong, so I would expect price to continue drawing higher. I do want to see consolidation here because what I don't want to see is I don't want to see price run to this new week opening gap just yet. I want to see price consolidate here for me to get an entry long. All right, we do have a bullish gap here. So just waiting for now. I don't see anything other than that. So I'm just going to be patient. We might not even get anything during the 10 o'clock macro either. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. All right, so we just broke that high. Okay, so this is a market maker buy model. Just finished. You got a sweep here, order block here, entry right here, and then we sweep these highs. It's probably more defined on the 30-second. Same thing here, sweep, order block, entry here, cover here. So not sure if we continue drawing higher. All right, let's do this once again. There we go. Okay. All right. I see something now. Okay, so I would like a draw into this area here. Either one of these, I would like a sweep of these lows here. Same thing here, sweep of these lows here. I would like to see some sort of, what's the word? I would like to see some sort of SMT at the lows. The only SMT on this lower time frame is between this low here and this low here. But again, I don't see anything to indicate to me that price is going to continue drawing higher. Well, we just rebalanced this whole imbalance here. If price doesn't come down here, I would expect price to continue drawing higher because again, price is strong. So yeah, let's just see if this was the low. Okay, good one. All right, so price is holding here. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if price continues drawing higher. Nothing on the 15-minute. Again, except for that tiny SMT at the 1 minute. Lower highs here, lowest highs here. Let's take a look at the 30-second because I know there's a setup here. And there's a setup here as well. All right. Yep, here we go. Sweep, order block here, displacement, entry here. This is a low risk buy right here. And you cover into this area. So this is a market maker buy model on its own. Same thing here. Ooh, okay. This could be right here an institutional order flow entry drill. Let's take a look. Yep, there it is right there. If it draws lower, then that's not one. All right, what just happened? Don't tell me that just did that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and exit this because it's acting foolish. Okay, let's go ahead and connect real quick. I hate it when it does that. I think I need to get more memory on my computer. I don't think we're going to get an entry for the 10 o'clock macro. I don't see it because price is starting, just finished the market maker buy model on 32nd. So yeah, I'm not too enthused with the price action. There's no structure to me just yet. But maybe, again, maybe just like yesterday, we have this move up here. We have this new swing high, swing low, price breaks through the swing low. Then we have a new dealing range to work off of. So on the 32nd, we did have that area here. And we did trade into the upper, well, the first quadrant of that gap. So, and we are rejecting it. Same thing here, first quadrant, and so we are rejecting that. Okay, so we did not set this here. Oh, that's why. Okay, it is there. Duh. Okay. All right, so we do have SMT here between this low and this low, this low and this low. Let's take a look at the 32nd if there is something. Nothing on the 32nd. Nope. Maybe one more low. Seven minutes until the macro. All right, so we got to move higher now. We got this sweep here. In Q, we have a sweep here. So if price draws higher, what I want to see is I don't want to see a breakout off of this. I want to see price consolidate here. So something like this. And then it sweeps this low into maybe some sort of displacement if price displaces higher, and then we get the move up. And I'll be taking a turtle here. But again, I have to see displacement. And Q does have displacement, and it does have this tiny gap here, but I'm not, again, I'm not sold. Right there. I think if NQ goes on, that would be a better indication for ES. So I'm watching ES because with ES I have new equal gap as a targets that I want to get to. NQ is not as defined because the target would actually be the high. So if I were to take a trade with NQ, it would be one of these upper quadrants of the 60-minute gap. Darn, I did that. Uh, yeah, let's shorten it. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Nope, nothing on ES either. Two minutes till the macro. Okay, NQ is drawing that high. Well, I mean, new high on NQ. Let's see what this other person is doing. Nothing. I'm just waiting for price to tell me to get in. We have 30 seconds until the macro starts. I should expect price liquidity to, well, not price. I should expect, yeah, volatility to pick up a bit. Let's see here. Okay, okay, there you go. There's something. Here we go. All right, see something there. Let me get prepped here. $34 would be my entry. All right, come on. Looks like I'm not gonna get it, but if I miss it, that's fine too. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for price to maybe create some smooth edges at the high before it breaks out. And if it breaks out without me, then I'll just let it go and I'll come back later on for another opportunity. I want a quick dip into that area. No, don't tell me. All right. And my stop is 31. Come on. Oh, I'm in, by the way. Had a buy order at 34. So let's see what it does. Again, my stop is 31. There we go. All right, we're getting something. If we get one more sweep below this low, but not this low right here, then I'll continue to hold it. Come on. There we go. This would be my target, but I want to see how price trades through here. Come on. We have an inverse here. Come on. Price on NQ continues to draw us higher. I want to continue to see that. See what it looks like on the, actually, let's draw this right here. We might use this as the stop. Let's just add two areas here. All right, let's take a look at the 1 minute. All right, so price continues to draw higher. That's fine. Okay, come on. So this would be turtle soup for me. Come on. Beautiful. Oh, and we have a gap here as well. Okay. I'm liking the setup even more now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stop below this low, because what I'm looking for is on the 1 minute we do have displacement higher, gap here. I want to see how price displaces through here. If it displaces without wicking, kind of like it did here after it took this high, then I'll try to hold. But if it comes back down here, then I'll expect this to be turtle soup. Let's see here. No, it's actually this one. Thought I deleted it yesterday. Perfect. All right, there we go. Come on. I do understand that we have a tiny gap here, well, a volume imbalance here. I want NQ to continue drawing higher. There we go. Just continue drawing higher. All right, so I'm going to put my sell stop up here. 39.75. That'll be 5 points. Good. I'll take that. Again, I am expecting for price to come back down here, sweep this low as turtle soup, if this high is not broken, because then that leaves these two as relative equal highs. There we go. That's beautiful. All right, so I'm glad that I came into the 30 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that sell limit order off here. And on the 30-second, I want to see price blast through this range. And I want to see flat top. I don't want to see wicks. All right, there we go. Beautiful. All right, come on. Outstanding. All right. Come on. No wicks. No wicks. No wicks, please. All right. Okay, so I took it off just now. How much did I get it? I got 34. 5.50 points. Good enough for me. And that was on the 30 seconds. So read that correctly. Same trade as yesterday. And this was the SMT I was looking at. Right there. Okay, again, swing high, swing low. Price runs those swing high, swing lows. And then we get a new dealing range here. We got a dealing range here. Price displaces above equilibrium, comes back into equilibrium. We get in here. I should have added more, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. And then price continues to draw higher, and of course it continues to draw higher. But again, for me, it's more about execution on both sides of the trade. And yeah, that's it. So that was good for a first trade. So no trade now. I'm off the market because whether price continues to draw higher or not, I have no idea. Yesterday, same trade, but the sides were reversed. And Q was lagging, and so I entered down here, covered into the highs. ES had already traded into those highs here. So yeah, right now there's really nothing for me to do except for just watch. All right, so I can take this off, and these I could leave it. Oh man, looks like it might run to that area, but that's fine. It's kind of like what I mentioned yesterday. If you're trading on the 1 minute, then take your profit on the 1 minute. Don't wait for price to go to the higher time frame, because a lot of times it'll reverse, try to scare you out of it, which it might have if I hadn't taken my stop here with this candle here. Same thing here. If you're long, it might have scared you out of this right here. But to me, this one was a safer one because we already had a target. This could be an institutional order flow entry drill here. Another one of these. Right there. And the reason why I'm looking at this high is because it broke above all of this consolidation here. So if I'm right, then price should immediately draw higher. Looks like it's not. Okay. So it broke below. And we're reversing still. No SMT at the highs, but again, order flow remains bullish, so you just wait. 7 minutes until the macro's over. Okay, wow. In the 15-minute, we do have order blocks. Do we have anything on the 5-minute that may cause price to stop? Okay, so we do have this order block here, gap here, displacement. So watching this order block here, and this order block here with this line being consequent encroachment of this gap, of this of this order block here, and it closed right there. Looks like it's not. Okay, so what I was looking for was, I was looking for this order block here to act as the propulsion block, and if this had been the propulsion block, price would not have closed below this area here. So because it violated that, I would expect price to come back lower. This right here is the propulsion block here. There's no set gaps on the 15-minute just yet. So that's why I'm looking at the 5-minute. I would like for this low to get swept. And Q, not so much. There you go. Yeah, we do have liquidity pool here. So again, once this low gets swept, I would like for price to reverse. This one, I would like for this to get swept for then price to draw higher. But let's take a look at the 1 minute and see if maybe that might not happen. No reason as to why it shouldn't sweep off of this high. So the same thing we saw here on the 30-second is happening now on the 1 minute. And obviously the SMT remains. Is there any news later on? Nope, that was it. 0830, so yeah, just gonna leave it there. Just a little more. I'm done for the 10 o'clock macro, by the way. If I do take this trade, it's going to be on a paper. Come on. There we go. I think we're going to get it. Nope. That's the worst part about trading. It's teaching yourself to be patient with uh, price action. That takes a lot of time to learn. But once you know what you're looking for, it gets easier. It starts to get easier. There you go. Okay, so we have the sweep. So I want to see now how price closes here. SMT, SMT. So let's just watch. If I miss the first one, I want to get in on turtle soup. We're getting displacement. Nothing now. Okay, the macro's over. All right, so I'm gonna call it there while I'm ahead. 5 point, I think 5.50 points. That's good for me. Um, let's see here. Yeah, that's enough for me. So I'm gonna call it there. I might still trade this, but as far as the live stream, I'm gonna cut it there. Um, Good entry, good executions on the 32nd, and so yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.